What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest gaming podcast on the internet, the One Up Gamescast. I'm one of your hosts, Carl Sinclair, joined as always by my brother from another mother, the man with the plan, Master Cheeks in the sheets, Master Chief in the streets, Jack Gibb. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, thank you. How are things on your side?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. I can't complain. I want to, but I won't. You know what I mean? I want to, you know? It's been too freaking hot here. Yeah, I'm complaining. It's been too hot here. I haven't had as much time for video games as I normally do, which is burning me up inside. But in saying that, we've actually finished Gears of War and we finished the new Sniper Elite game, so I can't really complain too hard. We've actually got quite a bit done in terms of finishing stuff this year, which was a big thing on the list of shit we needed to get done.
I'm still in Egypt. So it's a little weird.
Mate.
I've did the cool fight stuff though. I've done.
Okay.
Cool thing. Yeah, things have happened. Things are good.
A part of me is like, do we set the goal that you will finish Indiana Jones before it launches on PS5? Because it's going to be really bad if you haven't finished it by then, then it comes out on PS5, and then I finish it again.
Yeah, no, that's my goal.
That's a good goal. That's a good goal.
That's been my goal since it launched.
It's a great game. It's a great game.
Is Avowed launching on PS5 straight away?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I was going to say it'd be a similar boat with a few people there.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I am keen for that.
Avowed might just be like one of the last Xbox exclusives.
Yeah.
Like, it might just be, you know?
Possibly.
A South of Midnight, I guess. It feels like we're wrapping up.
Yeah. I don't know.
I read something before, like, I feel like someone's analysis is that, like, next-gen Xbox is going to struggle because a lot of people that brought into this generation because of all the studio acquisitions and all that for exclusive games, like, that hasn't really come to fruition at all.
And
therefore we'll probably just pick up a PlayStation or PC next gen and play all the Xbox games. I was like, you know what? I kind of like don't disagree. Like, I don't think it's worth like a point of argument as in like, you know, people whinging, but it's probably an interesting point. Like, people that have just got enough money for one console, like, yeah, probably gonna happen.
And I think Xbox sees that. I think that's part of their strategy. Is like,
I do agree. I don't think they necessarily give a fuck.
Yeah, but I also don't necessarily think that we're seeing the end of exclusivity on Xbox. I just think they're trying to tackle it in a little bit of a different way. I mean, exclusives are the lifeblood of a console and its life cycle. You know what I mean? I think they know that whatever their next Xbox is not going to sell nearly as well if it doesn't have exclusives. I just think they're going to tackle exclusives in a different way. Don't know what that is yet. Still trying to piece that together. But I don't think we're seeing the death of exclusive on Xbox. I just think we're seeing them sort of. It's like when you go to. I feel like this is like when you go to Costco or you go to like one of those big stores and you're like walking around and you're like, oh man, I need to get this. I need to get this, and then there's that devilishly evil little old woman who has a cart full of like free samples, and it's like, oh, this cheese is so good, you should try this cheese. And you try the cheese and you're like, ah, shit, I wasn't going to get cheese, but now I'm going to do it. That's what I feel like Phil's doing right now. It's like, hey, you want to try this cool Halo, you want to try it? PlayStation is going to try it. It's like, oh, that's pretty freaking good. Actually don't mind that. That's a bit of all right. Yeah. Well, if you go down this aisle, because this aisle is an Xbox, everything's an Xbox, you can play it. So I feel like there's a little bit of that going on, maybe like giving people a taste of what they could have. It's like the free sample on the way to them sort of being like, because I could totally see the next Halo game being like, it's coming out and it's exclusive to Xbox for like the first couple of years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they necessarily have to go Halo Infinite, Second Son, Return of the freaking Battlefield Portal Summer Games Fest 2 comes out and it's coming out everywhere day one. I don't see that. I also I think the big games that are going to come to PS5 like straight away are probably like the third party games like that, like maybe Xbox has got a bit of money in. I can see maybe them doing it with like the majority of Bethesda games going forward. We're seeing it with Doom.
Like every Activision.
Yeah, I can see all of that sort of being day and day. I could totally see them being like whatever the new Elder Scrolls is. I could totally see them that being like a, hey, this is exclusive to Xbox for the first like year. I could totally see that. I don't think they'll do it, but I could totally see them doing it. I think it's the fact that they've got the option to do it is like what they like more than doing it.
I don't disagree. And like Starfield being a new IP like that, I feel like it's a different kettle of fish. I think the Indiana Jones things where it's like 3 months exclusive is enough to sell a console. Like, as in, if Elder Scrolls was 3 months, Halo's 3 months, like, that's enough to sell a console. But at what point are you just being a dick about it? Like if Indiana Jones 2 comes out day and date on both consoles, they'll be like, oh, I wonder why the first one didn't. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just interesting. Like, they said there's no red line, but I feel like to sell a console, you've got to kind of draw a line at some point.
Yeah.
Just look forward to seeing where it is. Really.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily love or hate where it is. I just
I do
because it just feels like there's no consistency at the moment.
And I think they're trying to find out what works best for them. That's why there's no consistency. I think
That's probably bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to see them ride this line of game comes out on Xbox 3 months, 6 months, I don't care what it is. Because, like, they're trying to do that whole of, like, hey, it is coming to PlayStation, but oh my god, Indiana Jones is reviewing very well. Like, how long can you wait for it to come? Like, are you just going to jump on it?
I don't think that's, like, the evilest thing.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's good business. It's smart.
Yeah, like, but it's not like, oh, like, it's not years, you know what I mean? Like, a few months, I feel like, isn't too... But if it was 1 week, I'd feel like that'd be nearly worse in some ways. Like, I don't think they're being too cuntish about it.
No.
But
I mean,
they are experimenting, and
yeah,
you know, like Forza Horizon coming out, like obviously that's a couple years later, that's fine. But like for Forza Horizon 6, we would now assume is going to come to PlayStation. When's a sweet time for that game to come to PlayStation where it's like good business but balanced with not being an arsehole about it?
6 months.
Like,
I think that's 6 months.
Yeah,
I think it's 6 months, and I think the reason that we're getting 5 on, I think the fact that 5 is coming to PlayStation cements and confirms in my mind that Horizon 6 is in Japan. Because they know that the majority of Japanese gamers are on PlayStation. They're trying to get that into their hands now, let them see what a Forza Horizon is and how much fun it can be. And then that way, when they announce the 6th one, it's set in Japan. They can literally, like, they're like, the game's already in the market. You know what I mean? It's already available to them. They're going to see that and they're going to go, oh shit, this is this game that I've just been having the most amount of fun with the past, like, 3 months. Like, I definitely need to jump in on this one day one. And then they're either going to...
Oh, sorry, you go.
Then they're either going to go, cool, I can wait for it to come to PlayStation, or they might finally start breaking into the Japanese market and being like, shit, I really had fun playing that, and I kind of don't want to wait for it. I think I'm going to buy an Xbox, or I think I'm going to get on Game Pass. I think I'm going to do this. You know, like, I think it's very smart.
Dude, Horizon could be the gateway drug. Like,
I think it will.
Horizon. I didn't play Horizon until it came to Australia, and then I played 4 late as, and then that was my gateway into 5. I was like day one on number 5. I could see that. Yeah, you might be onto something.
I think that was the. There's so many rumors and there's so many people and there's people in our community who are like, oh, it's coming to Japan. But I think that is that was the cementing thing for me was it's like 5's coming to PlayStation because we're so close to 6. Like, why would you just not launch with a brand spanking new one? You want them. You want to you want people playing it now. You know what I mean? So that when you do drop a new one, you've already got people invested in the series. You want them to jump in. You want them to play. So it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Could you ever imagine, like, when Forza Horizon 1 and 2 were out? Like, obviously they were good games and popular, but, like, they are top tier games, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy how the gaps they bridge. I'm really excited to see PlayStation players play it. Because, like, from the outside looking in, it doesn't look... Like, it looks cool, but it just looks as cool as any other racing game, right?
Yeah.
But once you play it for what would you say? How long do you have to play a Horizon game? The opening mission's honestly enough usually.
Yeah, the opening's normally enough.
Like, okay, I get this.
I give you like a session. Like if you have a good solid session, like a good 4 hours with friends, like you're in. I think you're locked in.
Yeah.
But yeah, the openings are always like so good, and they lock you in for the next like 40 hours, and then after that, you know, you're coming back every now and again to events and stuff. I think another thing that's really gonna like boost this one is it's literally launching with DLC. So like they're gonna have the Lego experience, they're gonna have the special island that they always have. So there's not gonna be any shortage of stuff for them to do in this game. And I think if the game doesn't grip you after the first hour, seeing Lego cars driving around in that Lego DLC, like that might get someone. That'll get a lot of people. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's clever. I think it's great. I'm excited. I'm keen. But it's also in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't need a platinum, an unobtainable platinum just sitting there, you know, like...
Do not get it on PlayStation. All right, you've played enough Horizon. If you want to play more, you've got it.
That's true. That's true.
You got enough shit to play.
I have so much shit to play. That's so true.
Mate, release dates are starting to get locked in for this year.
They are finally.
Finally, and we're going to jump into some of that shortly. But I just wanted to squeeze into the show that Battlefield, the next Battlefield, was announced, sort of, I guess, teased. Yeah, I don't know what to call it, but
I would say it's
EA
been revealed.
Revealed, yeah. We know it's coming now. I don't know. Anyway, a YouTube video dropped, about a 5 or 6 minute video. Like all troubled studios, they're now called Battlefield Studios. So it's Ripple, Motive, Dice, and Criterion.
Yeah.
They've formed Battlefield Studios, and they're all working together to release the next Battlefield game, much like they did the last Battlefield game. Dice is a multiplayer, and then each studio sort of got a pillar, whether it's campaign or like a special mode. There's all that sort of stuff going on.
Battle Royale anyway, that they don't want us to know is a Battle Royale, but is 100% a Battle Royale.
You know what? I feel like now is a better time to have a go at it than the last time.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him to have a crack. Battlefield Portal's coming back. That was another one as well. So it's going to be a big Battlefield, one way or another. It's going to be big. And I don't know. The video spends 5 minutes just talking about the feeling of Battlefield and what they're doing to try and capture it. And they're going to have a lot of alpha testing and beta testing, which is not something they would typically do. Normally, they would do. I don't even want to call it beta testing, but if it's coming out late October, early October, you would bail in and make sure the servers work, and they don't work that great. So look, they didn't really get into the weeds of it. They didn't talk about tick rates of servers or all that sort of stuff, or settings, or anything too crazy. But they did sort of hint that they understand what the vibe of Battlefield is now, since Vince Zampalla's at the helm.
Yeah.
Look, it was one of those videos where, like, I think you would agree, like, all the developers said the right thing.
Yeah.
Like if this is going to be a successful Battlefield game, so far everything's going to plan. Whether it plays well or not, no fucking idea. Wouldn't suggest you pre-order it. But at the end of the video, if you haven't watched it yet, at the end of the video, there's like 15 seconds of gameplay footage. And it looks good,
It looks like Battlefield.
It looks like Battlefield. And I don't want to get hyped, don't want to get too crazy, but I just wanted to bring it up because we cover Battlefield in this podcast. We've covered the lows, and I hope that we're about to cover the highs. And so put that on the radar. No indication of release date was given. However, the earnings call from EA, I believe it was, has announced that it'll be here before April.
Yeah, it will be in their fiscal year 2026, which runs from the 1st of April this year to the 1st of April next year. So I would put my money on October, November. But there's also that big Grand Theft Auto. It's that big guy in the corner that's like, I'll come here when I'm ready. So, I mean, here's the thing: they're not really competing with each other, and I feel like there will be kids out there that'll be like, I'd rather GTA. But I mean,
you just don't want to be the same week at that point. Like it's just like your marketing, everything's going to be fucking taken over.
Yeah, they have specifically said that they are open to changing the date to more align with not lining up with other people. But when you say that, I'm kind of like that to me is indication that EA has changed, because they did not give that courtesy to Titanfall 2. So it's nice to see that they're actually thinking about
Battlefield Firestorm as well. Like,
yeah, Firestorm.
It's been a long history of problem.
I just think they know they need this one to work, and I think they're building this one up to be. I think personally that when this Battlefield launches, this is going to be our Battlefield for like a while.
Oh, couldn't agree more. It's a 5-year Battlefield.
I was going to say, 5 years at least, which explains why they've got so many studios, so many different modes.
Yeah.
It's going to be constantly evolving.
This in a lot of ways, I think, is going to. The live service is probably going to operate how they wanted 2142 or whatever it's called to operate.
Yeah.
No, 2042.
Yeah,
2142 is another Battlefield game that I learned exists this week. I did not know it was a thing. And I still wish I didn't know. Yeah, I think it's going to play out like they wanted 2042 too.
Yeah.
But the base game's going to be bringing it back to, like, I think what it's going to be, it's going to be a sequel to Battlefield 4.
Yes.
And whether it's good or not, no fucking idea. And yeah, who the fuck would know? But they're saying the right things, and I just wanted to point that out. That I'm not getting too hyped, but I'm keen to see more. And the Battlefield 3 theme music throughout the video.
That helps.
It's like that's the part where you're like, am I being tricked here?
Yeah.
Am I being tricked? Do they try to tug on those, like, the nostalgia?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I don't even think they're trying to hide it. They want you. They've got you. They're not going to let you go. 100%. Yeah.
It needed to be good.
I'm sure it'll be okay. Ish. We'll see. Well, the thing is, with Battlefield Labs, like, we have the opportunity to know going in. You know, there should be.
We don't. We live in Australia.
Yeah, we live in a shit place. I know. But the second we're allowed to sign up, I'll be there. But yeah, I mean, they'll open it up very quickly. I think they know that they need as many people playing this thing as possible.
I think it's a case of let's bring in 5,000 people. If all 5,000 hate it, let's stop the program.
Yeah, honestly. Well, yeah, honestly. I mean,
there's no way they can fuck it up that badly again. Because, like, it's rare that a studio... I feel... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's rare that a studio fully acknowledges a mistake like Battlefield has. And then fuck it up that severely again. See, now I know you're thinking about Halo, but they never acknowledged it was that fucked.
Yeah, true.
Every single Halo game is fucked in a different way.
Yeah.
And they've never truly, until now, acknowledged that, the engines are probably, whatever bullshit they come up with. But I'm just sort of thinking that I'd be shocked if this Battlefield was, like, as diluted down as 2042.
I feel like CD Projekt Red sort of admitted that they'd fucked it. And they're sort of like... But yeah, no, it's very true. I feel like, a second time? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when they acknowledge a full fuck up, like CD Projekt Red, like DICE have, like Halo now have, I don't feel like studios often miss, like, maybe Dragon Age, some people might argue on or something, but I don't know. I just feel like DICE has, like, said all the right things and is self-aware enough that they're fucked up. My only fear is that all the people that said it have left. Like there could be something I'm missing.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, the one thing the only thing we say, it's a waiting game now. It's like, it's literally like
the time has been set.
Yeah. The board is set. The pieces are moving. We just got to wait for our turn. And
look, we could be in for a fucking good year though. Imagine a good GTA, a good Battlefield, maybe a good Halo at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I could be maybe a good Fable. Oh, mate.
COD's supposed to be like a remake of 2 or some shit, Black Ops 2 or some shit, or it's like a direct sequel to Black Ops 2. Like, I'd be down.
Sounds like a pretty good filler.
Yeah, well.
Oh, man. Interesting. I'm excited for the year. So then PlayStation came out with a state of play to get us even more excited for the rest of the year.
They did. And I feel like all it did was upset a lot of people. It's like, here's the thing. They really didn't set expectations going in. And a lot of people...
You feel like they should have?
Yep.
Not that it was like a bad show or anything. But
it wasn't. It wasn't. But I think
we've been starved for a long time.
That's the problem. People are so starved that they were expecting showcase level shit. And I think there are still so many people out there that don't seem to grasp the fact that when you hear the word state of play, you should not lock in. You should not take the day off work. You should not get all of your money out of the bank for pre-orders. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to get a pretty decent show. This one was pretty good. This wasn't terrible. This was a Kylar show. We'll go through everything in a second, but I just think a lot of people... You know what people needed to do? People needed to watch my predictions video that went up the day before, because I feel like I set expectations way better than PlayStation did. Like, they really did a little bit.
I started watching your predictions after I watched the state of play.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, damn, he called it. Like, it was multiple... I mean, I still haven't quite finished the video, but, like... multiple times you called it so accurately.
Yeah, it's getting to that point where like I loved how hyped everybody got when it was announced, and then I started seeing people tweeting out their prediction lists, and I'm like, oh boys, no. Anytime I seen a list with Wolverine on it, I kept scrolling. I was like, there's no way, not happening.
When was it announced though? To be fair though, like
Wolverine,
it's been a while.
Like
it's been a hot
years
minute.
Ago?
So like. I think fair call to say it's coming. It's got to be shown soon. But yeah, state of play probably.
There's no way that gets shown at a state of play. If it does,
I feel like it could be shown this year though.
It will be.
Yeah,
I think it will be.
Sorry, I think it will be is one way of putting it. I think it needs to be is another way. Sony need it.
I think I think it will be shown. And oh man, it's I feel like they're gonna Tears of the Kingdom it, to be honest with you, with Wolverine. I think that's gonna be something that comes right at the tail end of the PS5. I don't think I just feel like what's crazy is like we've just got the Pro, which would make you think we've still got a few good years left in it. But there's like all these rumors that Xbox is just literally like there was a rumor today. I haven't here.
Yeah, they've moved out of the design phase.
Yeah, they're out of the
console.
pitch stage. Next gen console hardware is now past the early pitch stage, which is like
been approved and like like Microsoft's approved its creation.
Yeah, which means like there's no doubt in my mind PlayStation's thinking the same thing. You know what I mean? Like it's like I feel like people who the guys who developed the PS5 were literally working on what was next the day after it shipped. Like that just seems to be the way that it's working these days. So
it's just like I think the next gen's gonna fucking flop if there's not a launch lineup.
I feel like
I'm so like embedded in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no point doing shit unless the games are going to show up. And like Wolverine being a launch title, like, that's a long way. It's a long way.
That's like we're in that constant loop of announcing things too early and all that sort of stuff. Because
it sucks because Insomniac has released more than anyone.
Yeah, I feel sorry for them because there was all that chatter that like I think we were supposed to have seen Wolverine by now, but that Insomniac leak completely threw them out of whack. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
Them seeing like people seeing like stuff that like was work in progress and like hearing the community and all the issues people had and all the things that they liked, but a lot of the things that they didn't like. I feel like that's just thrown the entire studio. Like I don't have any insider information, but just like as someone looking in, that would have thrown the whole studio out of whack. Because I mean, imagine working so much on like that multiplayer game and then having it cancelled and then thinking, people probably weren't going to like it anyway. Suddenly the concept trailer drops and everybody on the planet is like, holy fucking shit, we need this game right now. And it's just something that's dead in the water, Like, was that restarted? Was PlayStation like, oh shit, maybe people do want this? But then all that live service stuff and all the Concord stuff happens. So like where do they lie and all that sort of stuff? Like what's been changing behind the scenes, not just for the live service stuff, but the single player stuff. I think there's a lot going on behind the scenes at PlayStation right now to make sure that they still want to be top dog. So, I think Insomniac's copying quite the brunt of it, to be honest, which is kind of sad because they're the only ones I agree that have been putting out like consistent bangers. Like where's that Venom game? Like like we had a timeline. Where's all the DLC for Spider-Man 2? Clearly that's been cancelled. Like I mean, you can't cancel something that wasn't announced. I mean, yeah, but I have a feeling like it was on the go. Like, there are seeds planted inside of Spider-Man 2 that this stuff was going to happen.
No way that it start, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it's a reality situation. But, state of play. Let's talk state of play. Otherwise, we're just going to get in the weeds. So, yeah, Sony... Sorry. Oh, man. Ready?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Sony... The prophecies were true, the leaks were real, the rumors, oh so real. Sony dropped a state of play. They dropped it on, I want to say, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. State of play dropped. I was at work because I was like, it's a state of play. I'll just watch it when I get home. Stayed off social media all day. Hardest day of my life. But I rushed home like I want to use a reference that, you've seen Willy Wonka, right?
Oh, a little bit.
Okay. I rushed home like Charlie, who just found his golden ticket, and I was being chased by all the adults who wanted to give me money for the ticket. I ran home, Charlie, and I freaking bolted through the front door. I gave my wife a kiss. I freaking slide tackled my children. That counts as playing. And then I ran in here and I sat down, and it was time to go. So, state of play. We're going to break down each game. We're going to stop and talk about stuff we think needs to be spoken about. There's only a couple of things, so don't stress everybody. And then at the very end, we're going to rate the state of play, where it stands with the other states of play, and whether or not it was a good show. So, we open with the GOAT, Monster Hunter Wilds, ladies and gentlemen. Dropping February 28th. Everybody get excited. We got a brand new trailer that featured information on a game. The game's not even out yet, but we're already getting information on the first update that will be coming in summer. I believe it is in America, so around June, July. They're adding the Mitsune, a monster that is coming. They also announced that there will be a spring update. No. Mitsune's coming in spring, and then they announced the summer update for June, July. So there will be another monster, more quests, and all that fun stuff. And yeah, it was a good trailer. Like, Monster Hunter Wilds is at that point where it's like, we don't need to see anymore. The beta's on right now, so I can't wait to jump back into that again. But yeah, they're really killing it. They know that they've got a banger. They know people are locked in. So, I mean, great way to start the show. Then we got to look at Shinobi. Yes, Shinobi is returning. That is dropping on August 28th. Side-scrolling, sort of like beat 'em up slash. I'm trying to it's side-scrolling Mega Man type game. Looks sick as hell. So yeah, it's called Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Looks really good. Can't wait for that. Then we shed tears, ladies and gentlemen, because Sonic Racing Crossworld's got a trailer, and it looks so good. It looks so good. And they announced a closed network test that's going to happen on February 21. I've signed up for that shit. I cannot wait. I need it in my veins. But yeah, they're basically, it's a racer that allows you to travel across different dimensions. You can you got cars, planes, boats, and you can also be on like a hoverboard. So Free Riders is back, baby. Yeah, cannot wait for this one. Very excited for it. It was funny because a whole bunch of screens and stuff leaked like the day before the state of play. And that in my mind was like, it's got to be there. It's got to be there. The guy on Twitter, I'm like, there's no way it's not. And then, yeah, when the trailer dropped, I was like, let's go, Sonic. And I was like, oh, so good. After Sonic, we got to look at a game that just surprised the hell out of me. Now, apparently this leaked beforehand, but I didn't see the leak. So for me, this was a great surprise. We got a brand new Digimon story game called Digimon Story Time Stranger. And I think the thing that excites me the most is up until like this is like the first one, right? And this is going to sound crazy. This is the first Digimon game, a Digimon story game as well, for the longest time. It's not coming on PS4. It's coming this year, and it's only coming to PS5, and I'm sure it'll come to Switch. But yeah, very exciting. The Digimon world, the Digimon story games have been so good. Like, they're so good. And this one looks just as good. I'm very excited for it. Cannot wait. And I'm so happy that it's like current gen only. I think we're at the point where we need to start at least developing for both, you know, because like there's a game coming out this year. And it's not coming. It's like primarily coming to PS4, and I was just like, why? Like, why are we doing this? Come on, guys. After that, we got a trailer for Lost Soul Aside. Very excited for this one. This is a game that is done by a solo dev. It looks very good. I actually can't wait to jump into that. That's the pre-orders open from the 19th of Feb, so jump on that if you guys want to give that a go. Then we got a new trailer for Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, as well as the announcement that they are dropping a demo today. The demo dropped today, so definitely jump on that. Looks really good. Like a Dragon's just killing it. They're really killing it. Then we got a trailer for Dave the Diver. And speaking of Like a Dragon, Ichiban is from Like a Dragon, Yakuza, is crossing over into that game. And it looks like it's going to be massive. The DLC is dropping in April. It looks like I don't know how Dave the Diver is crossing over with every freaking franchise imaginable. Like, it's insane. But good on Dave the Diver. Good for him. Then we got a trailer for a game that needs to be hyped up, honestly. Like this franchise has been having a rough time the last few years. We got a trailer for WWE 2K, and they're adding a new area called the Island. It's an immersive WWE themed world, complete with quests, challenges, and live events. You can upgrade and customize your My Superstar through multiple storyline chapters. I think that's a good thing for wrestling fans, because I think it's been freaking stale in these games the last few years.
The island looks great. No criticism. But that would have popped the fuck off 10 years ago.
Honestly, yeah. It's
no hate. It looks great. More content's great. Hope the people that play that game love it. But man,
it's rough.
They're just playing catch up, aren't they? That's all they're doing. The poor fuckers.
I feel like they're trying to carve out a new path for these WWE games, and I'm hoping that this is like their first proper step towards giving us a unique experience, because it's been very.
If you listen to the video, there's a particular line. I can't remember the words exactly. I wish I had them on hand, but there's a very important line where it basically says like, this is the beginning.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Oh, and now from beginnings to ends, ladies and gentlemen, Borderlands 4 got a release date. It's dropping September 23 this year. We got a new trailer looking at movement, guns, just how it's going to play. Guess what? It plays like the others. But to be honest, that's all we want. They also revealed that there would be a Borderlands 4 specific, all about Borderlands State of Play coming later on in the year. So get ready for that one. That should be good. Hopefully it's like the Ghost of Tsushima one, like, because that was a really good state of play.
Yeah, fair. It's interesting that like they haven't done a third party complete state of play, have they before?
I don't think so.
It's interesting. It's not published by 2K anymore, is it?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Because it's got a release date in late September. And if it was published by 2K, that would tell me that Grand Theft Auto is not coming out that week. But yeah. I feel like Raw Gearbox or something. I can't remember exactly how that played out, but just interesting. There's not a lot of release dates, you know what I mean? There's one.
Yeah, true.
It's in the calendar.
True. Yeah. Yeah, like I think GTA is going to drop into next year, but we'll just have to wait and see. Then we got a trailer for one of my most anticipated games this year, Haze Lodge Studios' upcoming co-op game, Split Fiction. God, this game looks good. It looks gorgeous. It looks great. I actually can't wait for it to come out. The trailer was absolutely freaking awesome. Cannot wait. Then we got, it threw me, but we got a trailer for Directive 8020, which is a Dark Pictures game. Basically, it's like a Dark Pictures game set in space. You're an astronaut on a mission to try and save humanity. It looks really good. A lot of interesting, famous actors in it. One of the actors from Marvel, I forget her name. One of the Captain Marvel's friend. She plays the main character. It looks really good. Supermassive have been killing it with their games, so I'm excited to see where this one goes. But there were certain moments watching it where I was like, don't like that. That's scary. And then following it up, we got a game that doesn't look scary, but I don't want to play it because there is a chance it makes me crap my pants. And that's Friday Night at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic, which is coming to PS5 and PSVR 2. Last thing I want to do is play any of those Freddy games in VR, so I'm definitely going to sidestep that one if I can help it. Then we got a brand new trailer and a release date for the Midnight Walk, which is also coming to PS5 and PSVR 2. That game is launching May 8th. That is the game that is the handcrafted dark fantasy game where everything in the game is made of clay. Looks really, really good. Then we got the announcement from Konami that they are doing Darwin's Paradox, where you play as a octopus that can camouflage itself and all that. It's Metal Gear Octopus, to be honest with you guys. So that's basically all it is. They're refusing to make more Metal Gear, but we get an octopus game, so that's cool. After that, we got the announcement of a game that actually surprised me but got me super hyped, and that is Warriors Abyss. It is a Dynasty Warriors rogue-lite action game. It looks really freaking good, and it dropped right after the show. It was available straight away. So it's out now on PS5 and PS4. Looks great. We got a trailer for Onimusha 2 Samurai Destiny, the Onimusha remaster. That's coming out on May 23. Very excited for that one because that means we're one game away from an Onimusha 3 remaster, so let's get hyped for that. Then we got a trailer for Onimusha Way of the Sword, and I cannot tell you how excited I am for a brand new Onimusha game. It was confirmed. I said this during the video. I was like, man, they have a history of using famous people as the main character. They've done it again. So I forget the name of the gentleman, but actually, I might actually have it. Oh yeah. So the new Onimusha protagonist is modeled after the iconic Kurosawa actor Toshiro Mifune, who was an actor who played many legendary samurai in multiple films by Akira Kurosawa, which isn't the first time they've done it, because the face model for Onimusha 2 is also an actor who played in a lot of Kurosawa films. Both of these gentlemen have passed away, so it's really cool giving these guys a new, lease on life. But yeah, every single Onimusha game, except for the fourth one, which wasn't called 4, it was called something Destiny. they've always used like famous actors for the main character, but like something like Dawn of Destiny? No. I forget what it's called. That one was like anime as hell. Whereas this one feels like it's coming back to sort of like what we've known Onimusha for. You go in, you fight some demons, you suck up some orbs, and you level your stuff up and you go crazy. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, the protagonist trailer that they dropped, you've got to see it. It's so funny. It's so funny. But yeah, cannot wait for that, honestly. Then we got a brand new trailer that we've never seen before that didn't leak on the PSN store and already reveal everything that we needed to know for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. Crazy that like nothing leaked for that. Not the August 28th release date, day before my wife's birthday, so happy birthday to the both of us, or the fact that Snake and Monkey minigame mode's returning. Great trailer though, shows off all the bosses for the game, release date, the monkey mode, and on Twitter, X, it was revealed that Xbox isn't going to get Snake vs. Monkey mode because Ape Escape is primarily a Sony franchise, but they have teased that it would appear that the Xbox version will get Snake versus Bomberman. So that's kind of cool that they're getting an alternate version. Very excited for that one.
That's cool.
Then we got a trailer for Hell Is Us. Looks really good. Actually can't wait for that. It's a release date trailer, so we now know that Hell Is Us is coming September 4th. Nice to see some dates on some freaking games. I'm not going to lie. I'm very keen. Hell Is Us looks great. Then, still can't figure out if this is just base, like, let's purchase it. You only need the game DLC for Lies of P, or if this is like a Miles Morales, this is going to come to disc on its own, or you can literally just purchase it digitally DLC. I don't know, but it's called Lies of P Overture. It's a prequel to Lies of P, taking place before the story of the main game, and it's announced to be coming to PS4 and PS5, and I'm sure everywhere else you can play Lies of P. But it looks really good. It looked really, really cool. I like it a lot. Then we got a random game announced called Dreams of Another. I'm just going to read the blurb here because it's an interesting game. So Q Games introduced this third-person exploration action game for PS5 and PSVR 2 centered around the theme, there is no creation without destruction. Players will rebuild the world through unconventional mechanics. So basically, the world has been torn apart and your job is to shoot everything back together. Interesting concept. I don't hate it, but it's also one of those things where it's like I'm looking at it, it's got my attention, I'm very interested, but it's also like, how long can something like this keep me interested for? You know what I mean? Like, is this like a 5-hour game? You know what I mean? Or is this them trying to be like I can't see myself being interested in this longer than 5 hours. I think they need to get in, tell their story, and then get out sort of thing. So, keen. Very keen. After that, Days Gone Remastered. It's going to release on April 25th. It's a remastered version of the original with improved graphics, better audio, and DualSense features. It also has new content, including a survival arcade mode, Horde Assault, and a permadeath mode. If you already own this game on PS4 and PC, you can upgrade for $10 USD. So I'm assuming it's going to be like $15, maybe $20 Australian. No, they're going to overcharge us. I have, you guys should go watch the reacts to the State of Play. I had very choice words for you people, so I'm not going to repeat them here, but go hear what I had to say and bloody listen to me. Then something that made my jaw hit the floor and my heart flutter. We got a new trailer for Stellar Blade, and it's Goddess of Victory Nikke DLC. I could not believe my eyes. Basically, it's happening. It's happening soon. Eve's going to be dressing up like the Nikke girls. I believe there was like... Oh, man. There was like Anise. There was Anise, Rappy, Scarlet, Modernia, Rapunzel, and Alice. Those were the costumes you've seen in game. Not to say there won't be more. There better be more because my girl Neon keeps getting cast aside and I'm sick of it. They're also got new areas, new boss fights, just new things being added. Also announced that it's coming to PC, and the PC version and the Nikke DLC will both launch in June. So very excited for that. We got a trailer for a game called Blueprints, a genre-bending atmospheric architectural adventure where you explore an ever-changing manor of 45 shifting rooms. That's coming out sometime this year, no exact date. We got a trailer for... Abiotic Factor. It's already out on PC, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's already out on PC and it's coming to console later this year, so that's good. Then we got a trailer for a game called Tides of Annihilation. And it looked balls to the wall crazy everywhere. It was very, very cool. I'm just going to read the YouTube description because I read this the other night and it just made me even more excited for this game. When the streets of London are engulfed in an outworld invasion, the only survivor, Gwendolyn, discovers a mysterious power to command the legendary Knights of the Round Table. Driven by vengeance and the desperate need to save her sister, she embarks on a high-stakes journey across two worlds, a shattered modern London and the mythical Avalon. That was enough to get me excited because then it also made so many things in the trailer make a lot more sense. Like I feel like you look at the title for the game now and like you see like a sword in the T of Tides. So it's like maybe that's like Excalibur because we know Excalibur came from a lake. Like that could have some sort of connection to it. We do see a giant sword. Perhaps that is Excalibur. I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with it. A lot of these, I do believe it's like being developed by a Chinese developer. Honestly, China and Korea are killing it with like some of these games that they've been like putting out lately. Like they're just really cool, classic feeling action adventure titles. So I'm definitely excited for that one. Metal Eden got announced. It is a sci-fi FPS set on a future space colony under threat. Players control combat-ready android Asuka to protect colonists, and that game launches May 6, 2025.
Is that the one that like sort of had the Concord vibes to it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Poor Metal Eden. Then we got a look at a game called Mind's Eye. It's an action-adventure game following a character called Jacob Diaz as he journeys to uncover his past in a fictional near-future city of Red Rock. That game is slated to come out sometime this year for PS5. That looked pretty good. I think it showed pretty well. I'm not sure if it'll play very well, but we'll see.
That's looked good. Keen for another trailer on that one.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we also got the announcement of Housemarque's next game, the studio behind the great game Returnal. It's called Saros. That's set to come to PS5 in 2026. And they also noted that we would get a gameplay trailer sometime later this year. It's basically it's not a sequel to Returnal, but it's basically the next version of Returnal, I'd say. It's a game where you will die, come back, die, come back, die, come back until you finish the game, which seems to be the thing that they enjoy doing over at Housemarque at the moment. So I can't begrudge them that. But yeah, the trailer featured Raoul Coley, who, if you're a gamer or fan of Warhammer 40k, you'll know who Raoul Coley is. Look good. But yeah, hopefully this isn't something that will be cursed with, oh no, we announced it too soon. But that, my friend, was Sony's February State of Play for 2025. I think a solid showing, if I do say so myself. But what did you think?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think maybe not a ton for me personally, but good paced show, lots of good games, lots of good third parties showing up. Yeah, they didn't really support their own show that well, but not really surprised either. No, I don't mean that insultingly. I just mean my expectations were set correctly.
Do you think they thought Saros was was going to be a bigger deal than it ended up being, or do you think they were like, okay, like we are working on a showcase, we don't think Saros is going to be something that people are going to talk about after that show?
I'm not sure if I'm the right person to ask that question, but what I will say is I think Saros, from my perspective, and this might be uneducated, but you know, if the Sony showcase is as good as everyone thinks it's going to be, Saros might not have come out the other end feeling too good. So I feel like, you know, like let's say at the next showcase, like an Infamous game gets announced and then Saros gets announced. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, you know what, Saros owned the State of Play pretty well.
Yeah,
I think it might have ended up being a pretty good place to put it. Odd that it was announced so early, but hey, you know, that is what Sony would typically do if they weren't canceling everything. So I don't know. I don't think it was that out of place, but I just kind of wish would have been nice for Sony to have a second sort of thing to join it. I feel.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping we'll get more from them this year. I feel like we have to.
I think Saros will be a good game. You know what I mean? I think it'll sell well and all that. I just think optics at the moment, like Sony hasn't really, they're not doing anything really.
Yeah.
They're selling a lot of PlayStations, to be fair.
True.
They're selling a lot of consoles. They're just not releasing any games. And to be fair, like I'm not that mad about it because I'm still catching up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's just it's been a while between drinks.
Yeah. Yeah. I think as far as state of plays go, this was a pretty solid show. I mean, we've got some pretty big release dates here. I mean, Borderlands 4 on its own could have been a show-ending release date with the announcement of like, hey, we're bringing some more. Sonic being there was, I think, a pretty big deal. Monster Hunter showing up is always good. It was nice to see some of these Chinese games, Korean games getting their like time to shine. Also, some really cool drops as well, like Warriors Abyss being a drop right after the show, basically. Where Onimusha getting some respect was also really, really cool. And I think if the Metal Gear Solid Delta trailer hadn't leaked, I think that would have been a pretty big deal as well. I think personally, yeah, very solid showing. Never thought I would see Nikke got us a victory in a state of play, so that also like tickled my pickle and got me all fancy.
Yeah, see, I think things like that would have been overshadowed by Naughty Dog showing up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yep.
I feel like it was such an even showing, and I think that's quite strategic. Whether it was whether it was deliberate or accidental strategy, I don't know. But yeah, I think you're saying it well.
If you had to put a rating on it, if you go to the 1UP rating and put a rating out of 10, what would you give it?
I mean, I'd probably give it like a 7, just because like there wasn't a lot for me personally. But
Yeah.
but if someone was to say, "Hey, that was an 8," or for me that was a 9, I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." Like I'm not here to fight you on that.
Yeah, I'm sitting like at 8.5. I think like this is in the top tier of state of plays. I think I'd need to like actually sit there and look at each state of play objectively to see where this actually stacks, because it could possibly be a 9. I'm not sure if it hits 10. I feel like we've had another state of play that hit 10 like pretty hard, but that would have been from the early days.
The thing like the Xbox has really fucking nailed is like when they announce a show, like for the last 2 years now, it's been a consistent level of expectations that have been set.
Yes.
Like when it's the developer direct, we know that it's going to be in depth and not many games shown.
Yes.
Not a problem, but we know what that is. When it's their E3 showcase, we know it's going to be 2 hours, fucking full. You know, hopefully high quality, but you know, this just depends what's available, I guess. But like, we know it's a full fucking show.
Yeah.
And these days, we get a half an hour sort of showcase at the end or whatever.
Honestly,
I think the problem with State of Play is like because there has not been I can't even remember when the last showcase was. We've had like 2 this generation.
yeah.
So it's sort of like the State of Play is meant to be different, but if it's the only thing we're getting, then I think people are sort of left like wanting more. Whereas I think this State of Play, like if they did a showcase every June, and this State of Play was like in February as it is now, we'd be like, oh yeah, sweet. You know, they're saving that for June.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's hard because they're obviously canceling a lot of projects and reformulating the strategy. So now's probably not the time to come out and be like, hey, we've got a showcase in June. But I do think the moment they know they can do a showcase, they should be like, hey, and even if it's in 6 months, be like, we're gonna be showing up in 6 months. You know what I mean? That's all they need to say. People will be hyped.
Yeah.
People will be there.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think they need to do much more than that.
I agree. Honestly, I feel like people would have been so much like happier with this state of play if literally the tweet was like, state of play, this is what time it's happening, 40 minutes looking at games from like our partners and and then just at the very end they were like, also we're getting a brand new look at an unannounced game from Housemarque, and then that was it. Like if they just told us like Housemarque showing off their game, boom.
I don't think that would have lessened the announcement either.
No, I think it actually probably would have hyped people up a bit. I think you get the people that were big fans of Returnal going, shit, I need to watch this state of play.
Yeah, and I think it also would have set expectations because, like, I feel like
100%.
people that were dropping out halfway through the show, you know what I mean? Like, it would have kept them around potentially.
Yeah.
Because I noticed, because I was watching it about an hour after the show, and so when I started watching the show, it was just wrapping up on YouTube. And by the time I ended the show, comments were disabled. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. From what I heard, it was pretty rough. The comments were rough.
People need to just check a bit. Like it is at the end of the day, just fucking video games. Like it's our lifeblood and our passion. But even if you thought this was a mediocre state of play, I mean, that's okay.
I mean, like at some point, you need to take responsibility for your own hype level. Like it's a state of play. We know what they are now. Like you need to take a little bit of responsibility for your own disappointment when you're going into a state of play expecting to see fucking Wolverine, Intergalactic, like Housewives game, like when you're expecting something that like Xbox puts on once a year, you know what I mean? And state of plays are literally every couple of months, it feels like at this point. Like you just need to chill out, honestly. You're not getting all that in one go.
Sony do need to be disciplined though. Like, don't show up to the next state of play of The Last of Us 3.
Yeah. 100%. Like they need to set what a state of play is, and I think they've started to do that the last few. But if they were to come out at the next one and show Last of Us Part 3, Intergalactic's getting a trailer, and we're showing Wolverine, it's like, all right, well now you've sort of like screwed yourself over.
Yeah, like, exactly.
You've become the problem. Yeah. Like, you've done well these last few to actually set expectations as to what a state of play can be, right? State of play, like, it's like they're not a Nintendo Direct, right? So a Nintendo Direct, to me, we get Nintendo Directs a couple of times a year, and they are like showcase level stuff. Even though we get them a couple of times a year. But Nintendo can do it a couple of times a year and show banger after banger and keep that audience, right? When I see a Nintendo Direct that's a partner showcase or an indie world, I know that I'm getting a state of play level Direct, and it's set the expectation. So maybe just having maybe having one big showcase a year, regardless of whether you think you have enough to show. Just have a showcase where you can also throw in some of these big third. Like if you had a showcase, people are going to be mad if you throw in Borderlands 4, Metal Gear Solid Delta, and Monster Hunter Wilds, as well as like a drip feed of your own first party titles. You know what I mean?
God.
Like,
totally.
That's a decent show, showing games that people actually fucking care about. Like, that's what a showcase is. And, you keep your state of plays for your, like, Shinobis or your Sonics that you haven't got a lot of information on, your Digimon story games, your smaller, like, Lost Soul Aside. Like, that's what they need to be. That's what they need to do. And I think they've started to do it. And I think maybe, like, people just need to, like, control themselves a little bit. State of plays are not showcases. Showcases are not state of plays. We need to treat it more like we treat a Nintendo Direct. You know what I mean? This was a partner direct. This is a Nintendo partner direct. That's what state of play was. This was some of their obligations to third parties and publishers and developers that they've said, yes, we will show your game. We will help you market your game. We're going to drop a state of play.
Yeah. And as I said before, as long as they stay disciplined about that, then that is fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they need to. So fingers crossed that they do. Again, Sony, if you are watching, because I know you guys definitely watch this show, I am available for consulting, so feel free to get in contact with me. Head to oneupgames.com. There is a contact us button. Send me an email.
There is. Yeah.
Send me an email. We'll get a whole Nikkei showcase together. All right? Connect me with those guys. We'll get it done. I'm just talking at my ass now. Well, Jack, thank you very much for joining me, mate. Final scores from us, ladies and gentlemen. State of Play, Jack gave it a 2, and I gave it a 8.5. He gave it a 7. Did you give it a 7?
Yeah, 7 for me.
That's a solid 7, and I gave it an 8.5. Could be better. I'm going to go and analyze every state of play we've gotten up until now, and I can adjust my score if I feel like it, so you'll find out next week. That's going to do it from us this week, guys. Thank you so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. Jack, as always, mate, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Mate, anytime. We'll come back and we'll do it again next week. I remembered, not last week, but the week before, I didn't say that. And then we didn't come back last week. We didn't return. So I need to remember to say it. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. And then, we don't want to freak Ev out. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week. We thank you again for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you would like to support us, you can do so by subscribing to the YouTube channel, liking the video if you are watching it there, subscribing on podcast services, wherever you listen to the One Up Gamescast, and heading over to oneupgames.com and just, having a read, hitting the like button, maybe sharing some of those articles on Twitter, because, man, we are working hard on that website, ladies and gentlemen. We are working hard. We're working hard on that YouTube. We like a little bit of support goes a long way, and we really do appreciate it. But that is going to do it from us this week, guys. Until next time, may all of your games be good ones, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.